What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another week. Sitting here with Sean, LaSalle, Coldwell banker, Hearthside. So we're going to go through today appraisal gap coverages, appraisal gaps, offers, and just putting it together. You know, summertime, springtime, as we roll into the market, it's really becoming relevant, and a lot of offers have them. So you had a good example, Sean, of the listing. You just went under agreement with a good example of what we're talking about.
So just to explain, what the appraisal gap is the difference between the sales price and the appraised value of a home, and basically says that the buyer is going to cover the difference between the appraised value and the purchase price.
If it comes in low.
Right, if it comes in low. So great example. Why an appraisal gap is not always the greatest thing to do if you don't do it right. So we had multiple offers, and we were looking at the net numbers to the seller. One of the offers, the highest numbered offer, came in at $400,000.
Okay.
And they had an appraisal gap of $5,000. We're listed at $370,000.
Okay.
Right. So the way we were looking at it is great if the home only appraises for $370,000. Right. That means that guarantees us $375,000. We have other offers that are above that. Right. So we have offers that are above $375,000 without the appraisal gap. So we're looking at a conventional loan. We wind up taking it's a $400,000 offer. $400,000 offer is 10% down conventional.
Yep.
We wound up going with that. And the reason is because if that $300,000 or $400,000 offer with only a $5,000 appraisal gap, if it only appraises for $370,000, that means we're only getting $375,000. Whereas the offer without the gap goes up to $400,000. The lender's saying that they're going to lend 90% of the value of the home. Right. So there's a chance that if it comes in at $370,000, then what?
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't mean that I have to stick with that $375,000 number. It means that we'd be able to negotiate, and maybe the buyer can come with more down and close that gap even more.
Absolutely.
So we were looking at it like it's either full gap or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we were talking before you came in and talking about that topic, you're exactly right. I'd say statistically, people that offer gaps, a small gap like that, it's not much because you're going to be up against those other mathematically. And a lot of people if you're working out there with a lender too, appraisal gap, talk to them about that. So if you're and that's why it's all important with the all-in number. Like, hey, I have 20,000, 50,000, whatever number is to buy this thing. Let's work it out. So maybe instead of 15% down, you're putting down 5%, and you have a very large appraisal gap. Because in your situation going through, the larger gap is better for the seller. And if it appraises, guess what? Just put the rest of the money back down on the house. You don't have to cover the appraisal gap, which is really, really nice. Yeah. And going through and working those offers up. So how many offers did you have on that property you had?
It was actually only 3. It was only on the market just over the weekend.
Okay.
We had, I don't know how many showings, 40 showings in the 2 days that we were on the market.
Yeah.
And, in this instance, the seller just wanted to get it done. We literally had 3 offers that they were willing to accept.
Yep. So
we cut off showings. We called for a deadline for all the offers to be submitted by a certain date or a time.
Yeah.
Presented them last night, and we were ready to accept the one with the appraisal gap, and I literally went back to the agent and explained why it's not a good idea for him to have a gap. They were literally putting like 35% down.
Wow.
Right? So the gap really in that instance doesn't make sense.
No.
Like, you shouldn't even talk to your buyer about that. An appraisal gap.
No, that doesn't. And that's where, when you have such a large down payment, say like 30% down, if it underappraises by, say, 10%, you're still at 20% down. You still avoid mortgage insurance. You still generally have the same interest rate. Nothing changes in terms of your financing. Your loan amount's the same. It's just that extra percentage is guaranteeing.
Right. And in that case, what you're going to do is you're just going to adjust your loan amount, right? And come to closing with a little more money instead of putting it down towards your mortgage. Come to closing with a little more money, and you buy the house.
Correct.
Right. Like the thing that people don't realize is well, it's not worth that, so I don't want to borrow that money, but I'm willing to take a little bit of a risk and give you that gap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what doesn't really make sense is once you close on that house, regardless of what you pay for it, that house now becomes worth what you paid for it.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
It does, absolutely.
So if if it appraises for 380 and you're buying for 400, you're signing everything at 400,000.
Yes.
The tax records says 400,000. There's no asterisk that says
yes.
appraised for 380.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
It's not like a baseball steroid era.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that. It appraised for it sold for 400,000. That's what it becomes worth.
Yes. You know what? And no one that's been in here has even touched base on that or thought about that. So it is it's a great point, because when you go to your Zillows, and everyone loves to go to their ancillary places, yes, you're right. There's no asterisk that it was 350, but it went for 400. It sold for 400. Guess what? That's the comp.
Yep.
$400,000. So it's not all a negative thing either.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Great info.
Yeah. So one question. Talk about waiving mortgage contingencies, right? Because at least in Pennsylvania, we have 3 different options with a mortgage contingency now. One is that you could waive it, but you still elect to get a mortgage.
Yep.
Right. So that's something that I've been talking to buyers about, especially like the ones that are willing to do some kind of an appraisal gap, right? Like let's say they're putting 5% down or 10% down, and they want to guarantee the seller a certain percentage.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that full appraisal amount gap, instead of doing a full appraisal gap, why not just waive the mortgage contingency?
Absolutely. And if you have a very strong buyer, and I know you've done that in the past with buyers we've had with great success. You're just saying, no matter what, I'm going to buy this house. And yes, I'm going to get a mortgage, but I don't have to. Right. So, and especially if you have a very strong buyer that's rock solid, you're going to win hands down every single time in going through and coupling it up. So it's just something to be mindful of. And it's harder to do those, and people are weary when it's Rocket or Quicken Loans. You got this .com place. That guy sits there and is making sure that's going to go through. It's huge. And then waivers too. That's the other thing too. Getting an appraisal waiver.
Right.
That can very much happen just depending on comps and things like that. Right. Whole bunch of different ways to look at it. So
lesson learned is before you submit an offer with an appraisal gap, make sure you look at it on both ends, like how it will look to the seller, especially if you're putting a lot of money down.
Yep.
Make sure you talk to your lender, right? Because your lender is a key part of this process and the negotiating. So talk to the lender and let him help you explain options, because what I'm seeing is a lot of agents don't know how to explain it.
Yes. And I get a good brushstroke of agents that I work with that don't see it, and I try to explain. So that's where having a really good agent on the other side too to help explain. It's a team effort. So absolutely, perfect. So if you guys need help, not sure, you guys see Sean. He's here every single week. We have our cast that we do. He has a great team of specific buyers agents that specialize in this or listing your house too in combo with that. So you guys know how to get in touch with us. It's good seeing you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yes. Have a good week, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.